Let's get right into it. Pablo Escobar has taken the spotlight in pop culture a little bit recently. What makes him such a fascinating character, and what drew you to that role?
Well, this is the movie that is going to stop that. Meaning, like, there's nothing iconic or glamorous about him. And maybe some other readings of him has been a little bit of that. And when we were shooting in Colombia, people would come to us to say, make sure that there is nothing glamorous about him because we don't want our teenagers to want to be like him. And that's the danger of focusing on what is cool about that kind of life. And that's why we want to make our take in it. And this is it, Loving Pablo. And I think what we try to make it different is to bring the human being into it. And by human being, I mean the darkness and the pain that he not only inflicted to others, but the pain that he suffered to himself. And not to justify him, but to understand that we, when we do things like supporting governments that are corrupted, or when we consume the product, we give power to people like him, and the power and the pain that they create.
So when you see a figure like Pablo Escobar being glorified, say in rap songs, in the same way that Tony Montana does, how does that make you feel?
Bad. I'm a father, and I don't think there's nothing cool. You can understand, and you have to understand where they're coming from, what is the surroundings, social, economical, political surroundings of people like Pablo Escobar. And of course, you understand many things about the poverty, the misery they want to escape from. But there is nothing cool about being like him and making that money in that way, because at the end of the day, you're gonna inflict so much pain in the people that are around you, no matter if it's family, friends, and you're gonna die. You're gonna have I don't know if you're gonna die, but you're gonna have a very bad, painful ending for sure. And I don't know if that's worth it. Some people may choose that as a way of living, but I don't think that's gonna make you any happy.
So this story is a pretty well-known story. We know how it ends for Pablo. Do you think he knew how it would end for himself, or was he so high on himself he thought he could win?
Yeah, and also he didn't have any reference. Like, he had the references of Al Capone. He glorified Al Capone. He was dressed as Al Capone, and Zapata as well. But you cannot compare Zapata to Al Capone. But he thought of himself as a figure that he wasn't. So, and at the same time, he didn't have a reference as we have now from him. And he thought he was immortal. He thought he would never be secede. He would never end. Not only his life, but the power, what he will bring to the world. And in one way, he was right, because what he created, narco-traffic, is more present than ever.
You've been very famously private in your relationship with your wife, famous couple. Now you're on screen together. You're on the movie poster together. What has that transition been like for you guys?
Well, we know. I mean, she's an actress, I'm an actor, and we work together. And we've done 2 movies actually together. This one is Loving Pablo, and then another one that will come next year. Well, I mean, it's not something that we want to do every day. But if the script is good and the conditions are good and the characters are great, like this case, yes, why not?
Just one last question for you. I'm not sure if you're familiar with what the people are saying on social media and stuff, but in the comic book world, you've been fan cast as Darkseid for DC. Have you considered playing a superhero in the future? And has anybody presented that to you?
I don't even know who that guy is. So I'm very bad at but listen, if they make a movie and they want me to play that guy, I will read it.